Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I thought I would take you shopping to Tesco's with me. So first things first, I've just got to do a little message, a little errand and go and drop a card off for somebody. So I thought, you know what, I've got a good 20 minutes to have a little chitty chat with you. So I thought I would bring the camera out with me, pop the roof down. It's a beautiful sunny day today. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I need to nip to Tesco straight after I've done this, and in particular my shopping list has quite a few high protein foods on it, so I thought, why not bring you along with me? I'm probably not going to do any filming in Tesco because yeah, it's Saturday morning, it is going to be busy. I don't normally go shopping on a Saturday morning, if I'm being honest with you. I'm just one of these kind of like pop here and there and everywhere during the week, but I need some shopping. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name's Lisa. I take a weight loss medication called Manjaro. I've been on it since last July, and it's now April 2025. And hello and welcome back if you have been here before. So today when I go shopping, I've got a little list, but this morning one of the things I was thinking about, honestly, this is just something that plays on my mind all the time, and it's nothing to do with weight loss. It's about meal deals, and I get really annoyed because when you go and buy a meal deal, one of the drinks that you can't buy is milk. And milk has really good protein in it. Now, when I was a kid, we drank milk loads, but I think now people just don't think of having a glass of milk. It's either water or juice or energy drinks. What else? Just smoothies, everything. But what has happened to, why have we just stopped drinking milk? So it annoys me because I think if I had the option of having milk, then for me, if I'm at work and I was gonna get a meal deal and I was gonna pick a salad and then the snack and a drink, I would probably choose milk, if I'm being really honest with you. But yeah, it's just not available. Can somebody out there just have a word with whoever is putting these meal deals on the shelf? Because also I think if you work in an office, like I work in an office 3 days a week, and a little small thing of milk, I would rather just buy that over a big one. Yeah, I've got to trek all the way down to the aisle. I don't even know how much a little small thing of milk is. But I'm just rambling now. But. So yeah, I just think in a meal deal, we should have the option of having a milk. You can get a strawberry milk or a chocolate milk, but you just can't get normal, everyday milk. Rant over. Okay, back to protein food. So one of the things I wanted to show and talk to you about today is chicken. I buy loads of chicken. Chicken's probably one of the meats I probably buy the most. And I buy pretty much every week a small chicken, but I don't cook it in the oven. I cook it in the air fryer, and I probably get quite a few meals out of it. And then I also boil it up, make a stock, and then make a chicken soup, chicken and vegetable basically. So I thought that's what I'm going to do. So a small chicken is on my shopping list today, and the milk, now I've got something in my eye. So yeah, I was thinking about this milk situation this morning, and we've kind of got this new milk that's appeared on the block. Well, it's not a new milk, it's basically a milk and the way that it's obviously processed and filtered, and it's called Bob. And I was thinking or wondering how much protein is actually in a glass of milk, and in particular the Bob, because you've got Bob milk, which is it's supposed to be semi-skimmed milk, but it tastes like semi-skimmed milk, but it's got the calories of skimmed milk. Then you've got normal semi-skimmed milk, then you've got filtered semi-skimmed milk, and then you've got the Milk Gods Cravendale, which is quite expensive compared to all the other milks, but there's always offers on. The burps are really awful today. Now, where I'm going to drop this card off, there is a beautiful road called Preston New Road, and it is notorious for the cherry blossom trees, and I'm not sure if they're quite out, but I might just do a little detour after I've dropped this card off and on my way to Tesco. So back to the shopping list: chicken, milk. Which milk? So the bob, when I was doing a little bit of research this morning, I'll talk about this a little bit later on in the video depending on what I actually end up buying, but the bob milk has got 4.6 grams of protein per 100 ml, and my normal semi-skimmed milk has got 3.6 grams of protein per 100 ml, so it's 1 gram difference. And I know like protein is something that we've really got to pay attention to and keep our eye on. Right, where am I going? Bear with, I'll be back in a second. Right. I shall be back in a jiffy. Hello, I'm back. My camera keeps wobbling a bit forward today. Right, I'm just going to flip you around so you can see these cherry blossom trees if they're out. If they're not, then I'm going to have to come back next week before I go away because they are stunning. Hello, I'm back. The sun today is stunning. Right, so the other couple of things I'm going to be looking for in the supermarket today, one's not really anything to do with protein, but it's just me. I love a bit of cordial. It's got to be my age because my kids just don't love cordial as much as me. I say kids, the grown adults in the 20s, but I love a cordial, and I love a different flavoured cordial. My favourites are orange and pineapple, but this time of year you do find that there are different flavours of cordial come out, so I'm going to have a little look for a new bottle of cordial. Oh, it is so sunny today. I also need some eggs, and I think, do you know what, I always buy free range. We used to have chickens, and honestly a fresh egg is just incredible. And the other weird thing is with eggs, they tend to have the use by date on them, and you don't know how old they are. But yeah, when we used to have chickens rather, they were amazing. So free range and large. I think there's about 6 grams of protein in a large egg, if my memory serves me right. I'll pop it on the screen in case I'm wrong. Oh, and the other thing that I want to pick up today is some thins. Some high protein thins or some high protein bread. I don't really eat a lot of bread, if I'm being honest with you, but I think it's good. I like having the thins in the fridge, and they tend to last ages then. So with my chicken, I'm thinking of doing a kind of garlicky onion rice with chicken and soy sauce in. So a bit like, and an egg. Oh, my mouth's watering now. So a bit like a fried, like a chicken fried rice kind of thing. That's probably going to be my dinner tonight, but I'm not going to spoil it too much, and I'll show you how I cook the chicken when I get home later on this afternoon. All being well, I managed to get a small chicken. Also, the other thing that I'm going to have a little look at in Tesco today is some tubs, because our medicine cupboard needs a bit of reorganisation, and I like everything in little tubs, and I don't know why, it just gets so messy. But yeah, so I need to have a good sort out of that, and that's it. I don't need, here's all these people walking again. Oh, I think it's a charity walk. Beautiful day for it. So I will see you back at home, hopefully with my shopping, and hopefully I don't buy too much and I can get it all in one bag, and you can see what other interesting things I ended up buying that weren't on my list. I'm back. Hello. Right then, let's have a look at what I bought in Tesco. So this is the chicken I bought today, and it is 1.33 kilos. So I'm going to cook that as soon as I've put all my shopping away, and I will show you how I cook a full roast chicken in the air fryer. So do you remember me talking about semi-skimmed milk? And I've never really looked at the protein in great detail at milk before. Semi-skimmed is something we always buy. And today I had a little look at this milk, which is called Bob. Hello, it's future Lisa here. And I've just popped back to talk a little bit about milk because I've been doing a little bit of research about milk, looking at the amount of protein in it, and I thought I need to come back and just chat a little bit more about it. So the milk that I did choose today was called Bob, and this is filtered milk. It's by a company called Arla, and Bob stands for best of both. So for example, it says on here, semi-skim milk that tastes like whole milk. So if you like whole milk, then you know, they say this is very similar. And I've got to say, it really is a lovely milk. If you buy the skimmed, then that tastes like semi-skimmed. So I had a little look on the Arla site about what exactly is Bob milk. And it's milk that has been filtered. It says filtered for freshness, just like Arla, Cravendale. This means the milk is processed through a fine filtration process to remove bacteria, which allows it to stay fresher for longer. And you do notice that this milk, filtered milk, does have a longer date on than normal milk. We do normally fluctuate from just buying normal semi-skim milk, filtered semi-skim milk, Cravendale, and sometimes we have bought the Bob as well. And do you know what? Price-wise, if you were to buy one on its own, the difference can be quite big. So for example, this is a 2 litre milk, and on its own, it costs £3. If you buy two, it only costs £4, and that's from Tesco's as of, well, today. So it has a longer shelf life. There's no additives or preservatives. It just says it's fresh cow's milk that's been filtered for a longer lasting shelf life and tastes fresher. So let's get into how much protein is in it. So for 100 mils, there are 52 calories, 4.6 grams of protein. Now, I think that's fabulous. When I was a kid, we drank milk loads. You know, it was the option for us to have. So when I was at school, we used to get like a carton of milk. And at home, we drank like cordial or milk. There was no pop. We did have pop, but not very often, only when we were kind of older. It's got 4.6 grams of carbs and 1.7 grams of fat. So compared to the normal milk that we would normally drink, is just slightly a few calories left, but it is considerably lot less protein, 1 gram protein less. 4.8 grams of carbs and 1.8 grams of fat. Now compared to Cravendale, which is kind of like our luxury high-end brand of milk, there are, again, for 100 ml, we've got 49 grams. For 100 grams of milk, you have got, not grams. So for 100 millilitres, do I keep saying grams? I'm confusing myself now. It's 49 calories, so a few calories left, 3.9 grams. So again, 1 gram of protein less than the Bob milk, 1.7 grams of fat and 4.8 grams of carbs. So for an alternative, if you're struggling to get your protein in, this is a really, really great solution. And I'd like to see it added to the meal deal. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out 100 grams so you can have a little why do I keep saying grams? It's 100 millilitres. I'm going to measure that out. I'm going to put it in a glass and I'm going to sit and drink my milk. Honestly, it's lovely and cool. Please let me know in the comments. Do you still drink milk as an option for a drink? Did you used to drink it loads when you were a kid like me? Also, I noticed on the shelf when I was looking at the milk today that there were options for high protein milk. And I'm going to just have a little look at the picture that I took, because, where is it? There's an Arla protein semi-skim milk, 55 grams, but that's for the whole litre. And it's £2.25 for 1 litre. I wonder how that works out. I don't know. I'm confusing myself here. And then there was a high protein semi-skimmed cow's milk for 70 grams for a litre. So that is 7 grams, isn't it, per 100 millilitres? Yeah. So if we break that down from the litre to 10, so 10 times 100 millilitres, then that would be 7 grams. So that's quite high really compared to what I'm having here, which is 4.6. So yeah, if you want to, but you know, when you look at the price of that, you might look at that compared to other milk and go, oh my gosh, that's really expensive. But when you look at the cost of it to something like a coffee, which you're going to drink in like 20 minutes, you know, is it worth paying a little bit more if you're trying to increase your daily protein intake? Who knows? Anyway, that is my ramble about milk. Back to now. I was actually looking after my little rant about meal deals and how they don't offer milk as a choice. And I took a picture of how much it costs. I'm going to pop it in here. So for, I don't even know what size that is. For 1 pint, which if we compare that to a litre, is that a litre and a half? Bear with. So half a litre would be here and a pint is just slightly above it there. So how many pints is that then? So that's 4 pints in effect. 4 pints for, well, £2. So 1 pint is 50p. And for the Tesco 1 pint, why did they do that? Why did they sell that in litres and the other one in pints? So this one is 85 pence for a little carton. Now, this is my whole meal deal debate. If you were buying a meal deal, there's no choice for milk, and a lot of them drinks, even like the Cokes, they're like £1.65 or even more, some of these drinks. So I just don't understand. Even a bottle of water is more than £1 in a meal deal anyway. But I just don't understand why they don't put milk in the meal deal. Maybe I need to have a word with the powers that be. How funny would that be? Anyway, so I've got my chicken, my 2 litres of milk, and then I saw these. Now, I normally buy the raspberry yoghurts in the Lindals, or as I call them, Linders, and these are protein puddings, and these were a little bit of a bargain actually, because these were only £1 each, which I didn't think was bad, because normally for the yoghurts, they can be over that. Let me just double check. Yeah, £1 each. So I bought 2 protein puddings, chocolate flavour, and I thought, oh, that's not bad. Let me have a little look what the protein is in that. So per pot, it's 14 grams of protein and 106 calories, which I don't think is bad at all, especially if you like a little bit of a chocolate hit. Yeah, not bad. I did get some plastic tubs because I'm going to sort out the medicine cupboard. So that is for that. They were cheap actually. So for 3 1 litre tubs, that was £2. So for the 3-pack of 600 millilitre tubs, it is £1.75. So like I say, I'm just going to have them in the cupboard with the tablets in and just kind of stack them all up because it's just a bit everywhere. Now these are the eggs I've been buying recently, and these are large eggs. They're called Saint U, I think. Delicious free range eggs, and they're really nice, to be honest. We're really enjoying these ones. They're actually from Cornwall. And let's have a look. Does it say how much protein is in it? Now it gives you the nutritional value per 100 grams, but it doesn't actually say how many grams is in an egg. But we're about to find out. Lovely. So in that particular egg, there are 67 grams. So we're going to work that out based on what it says on the box, times by 67. So pretty much 8.5 grams of protein in one egg. I'm absolutely amazed. I think when I looked on the internet at one point, it said it was 7. So I'm going to just do a little bit more fishing around, and I'm going to put my findings here, what else I find an average of. So that is the eggs. I also bought, these are my favourite protein. They're called flatbreads, or you might know them as thins. And they have got 8 grams of protein in one. So that's quite nice, really. So these are little squash minis, and basically you just squirt them into like your water, and it's like a little glass of water. It's not as nice as like normal squash. They're not majorly cheap. They are £1.75, which is quite a lot, but they do give you 20 glasses of juice. And I like to take these on holiday because sometimes in the morning I like a glass of cordial when I wake up or when I go to bed of a night. And throughout the day, I find that it's probably better choices for me to have a drink of this than just drinking carbonated water. Well, I suppose I do drink carbonated water a bit on holiday, but it tends to not be in a bottle. So I'm a little bit wary about that. Or carbonated drinks like my Diet Coke. I do like a Diet Coke. So I've got a couple of them to pack to take away for next week. And then this was the cordial I ended up choosing today, which was the Robinson's fruit and barley in the peach flavour, and that was £1.25. Loads and loads of choices for cordials, and the calories in this, it's 5 calories for like a diluted glass. And these, I'm not sure what the calories are in these, if they're very calorific at all. Have a quick look. Well, it says no added sugar, so I'm presuming it's not going to be much. Now, I saw this morning another vlogger talking about this, and this is my last purchase. And I couldn't believe how much protein was actually in this. And it's a tin of soup, and I've bought it to take to work to leave in my drawer. I've never had this soup before, and it is lentil and bacon, and it's Bachelor's. It wasn't the cheapest tin of soup. Blooming thing, hob keeps going off here. It was, well, it's £1.25, which I don't think's too bad really, especially in work for emergencies. I do have access to a microwave, so that's not bad. And the soup in work is quite nice, but it can be a bit, I suppose it's a bit expensive if you're kind of buying it on the last minute on a whim, and you never know what flavour it's going to be. So I thought lentil and bacon, let's give that a go. And that is 196 calories for the can. And are we ready? It is 13.2 grams of protein in that whole tin. I think that's amazing for a soup. Absolutely brilliant. So it says double smoked bacon. So I'm looking forward to trying that next week. Probably take that to work with me one day next week. So that is good. So my lovelies, that is all my shopping. All that is left for me to do is to cook the chicken. So off we go. And I'm going to show you how I cook a roast chicken in the air fryer. Right then, I'm just giving this cordial its first outing. I thought I would give it a little try today. Let's see what that's like. It's really nice actually. Peaches are lovely. Right, okay. I've just cut my finger getting a knife out the drawer, honestly. Most of my knives have these shields on. This is a KitchenAid one. If you're in the market for some new knives, I did make a little video about these when I first got them. They're really, really good. I didn't cut my finger on that because it had that on, but I was getting one out and it did. Right, okay, I'm going to show you exactly how to cook a full roast chicken in the air fryer. Quite simply, so you don't need to switch your oven on. Ovens, thing of the past. Now, my air fryer is a Ninja and it normally has this little thing at the bottom and little tiny little shelf where the oil drips through. I'm not going to put that in, and to be honest, I don't have mine in most of the time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some potatoes and onions and carrots at the bottom, and then I'm going to put my chicken in upside down for the first half of the cooking time. So I'm going to get that all prepped up first. Honestly, this is so simple. If you cook a roast chicken in the air fryer, pop in the comments how you do it. What size chicken do you normally use? Because I would love to hear, or what seasonings you put on. This is just generally kind of the way I do it. I'll just take a picture actually of what all of that looks like. So basically all I've done is I've chopped some potatoes, an onion and a couple of carrots, just what I had left in the fridge. And let me take a little picky wick of that for you. That's it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, oh actually, should I put some garlic in? Well, I do love a bit of garlic. Yeah, let me add some garlic in. Lovely. Put that back in the fridge. And that is basically the prep done. All I'm going to do now is open this chicken and then put it in the air fryer, but kind of upside down. Oh, actually, one of the things that I did see on the television is a celebrity chef this week, and he was just saying, if you just lean on that and break it down, it goes in the air fryer a little bit easier. So, like I say, so that's now in upside down. I'll take another little picture of that. It's not the greatest of angles to try and get. And then I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to turn it on. So they'll put it on 200 degrees, 25 minutes, and I'm putting that on air fry. And off we go. Right, I'm going to finish putting the rest of my groceries away. I'm going to pop the fan on and I will see you in 25 minutes. I've got an audience.
Hi, I'm just eating an egg sandwich. I don't get the chicken.
I had the emergency phone call 10 minutes before she came home to say, I need something to eat. Is there anything? So I've just made her. I actually made her an egg sandwich on one of them flatbreads. Do you know what? Them flatbreads, do you know how much protein's in them?
Is that not a thing?
No, it was a flatbread.
Okay, 20 grams?
20 grams? 8.
That's good.
Now she's eating pom bears, and then a starter for a bit of a warm-up was a tortilla. Anyway, the chicken is half cooked. I'm going to flip you around and show you. Oh, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over and then put it back on for another 25 minutes. So basically underneath Layla, I've got onions, garlic, some carrots, which I know aren't your favourite, and potatoes.
Potatoes?
Well, that's my tea sorted, isn't it?
Potatoes under the chicken?
Yeah, because the fat drips down, you see. So shove that down, pop that back in, another 25 minutes. And we'll see what that's like in 25 minutes. So that's 25 minutes done. I'm going to take that out, pop it there, okay. And I have got I went to say fruit barometer, but it's a meat barometer. I'm going to just stick it in the breast first and see if I think that's going to be cooked. See how much longer I need to give it. To be honest, it's not too bad, and it's probably okay, but I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just tip out any fat. When I do take the chicken out, I am going to put all those potatoes back in to crisp up. So I'm going to whip that back in, and I'm going to give it another 10 minutes. So the chicken's cooked for an additional 10 minutes. I'm going to get it out now and double check and see whether I think it's cooked or not. Pop that in there. Spin you round. We need to get up to the one at the top, the red one. Yeah, I think we've got to it this time. Yeah, it's just nudged over. So there we go. There is a chicken cooked in an hour in the air fryer, probably at a much lesser cost than if you had to put your oven on. So I'm going to take it out and pop it on a plate. So you can see there the temperature's gone right up to pretty much the top of the thermometer. Now this is what my potato looks like in here, and my carrots and my onions and a little bit of garlic. So I'm probably going to pop that on. I'm going to drain that juice off, and I'm going to, because that's the chicken fat, and I'll use that probably to make either a gravy or a stock. So I'm going to drain that off a little bit, and then I'm going to pop that back on for another 10 minutes. And that's my tea pretty much tonight, sorted. I might cook a bit of broccoli and that'll be my dinner. So thank you very much for joining me in this video today about my protein shopping haul, cooking my chicken. I'm going to insert a picture of what my dinner this evening looks like so you can all have a little look. That's how I cook a chicken in the air fryer, and I'm going to pull all that chicken off, and I have a bit for my dinner. I'll have a little bit that I'll use probably over the next couple of days for sandwiches. I'm going to boil the chicken bones up and make stock, and also use some of that chicken for a chicken and vegetable soup. So for £4 with that chicken, I'm going to make it stretch quite a way. So yeah, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this video today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.